Hello and welcome back to the channel. I've never been more excited for a video because today we are covering the biggest fails in Eurovision history. Now, just so we're aligned, these fails are going to be fails from performances only. So no, Donna International falling while handing over the trophy to Charlotte Pirelli in 1999 does not count.
Give them their prize. Sweden.
Also, in this video, we're only covering performances that were televised, so no, Lorene's jury performance where she chokes on snow also doesn't count. This video is focused solely on mistakes or malfunctions, whether vocal, technical, choreographic, wardrobe related, or anything in between. Before we get into it, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Now let's get into it. In 10th, we've got the first of many vocal misses that this video is going to cover, and it's Israel in 2010. Leading up to the contest, betting sites ranked Israel third to win, which was a very impressive achievement for a non-English song, especially in an era of the contest where only one song in the last decade had won Eurovision without being sung in English. But when he hit the stage, the weight of the contest hit him. And many people believe that he came in 14th place because of this. It undoubtedly goes down in history as one of the most blatantly obvious vocal blunders, especially since the moment was picked up for the recap when people started voting. That clip replayed over and over and over again for all of Europe to see, and it's probably one of the most embarrassing falls from grace in the contest's history. You can even see when the song ends, he looks very pissed. There's like a visceral rage on his face. I don't know, God works in mysterious ways. He lets you suffer a mortifying vocal crack in front of 200 million people, but then he's like, my bad, here is eternal youth as a peace offering. The man is 42 and he looks like he's sub 20. In 9th place, it's Ireland in 2023 for what I believe is the worst wardrobe malfunction ever. In Canada, we call this a moose knuckle when your male Pikachu is on full display. And it's not like this happened for like just a few seconds. The full 3 minutes, his Mr. Magoo was visually assaulting us through the TV screens. And it would be one thing if the outfit was just like some muted color, but no, it was literally sparkling gold. It was a train wreck that you could not look away from. What makes this fail even worse was the way he was dancing in the glittering gold moose knuckle jumpsuit. I mean, this clip in particular just sends shivers down my spine in the worst way possible. Okay, we just lost the light, but we're gonna trek along. In my view, Georgia's 2015 performance was a fail for many reasons, but one reason stands out in particular. Firstly, I understand maybe every fourth word in the verses that she sings, and just to be clear, the song is fully in English. On top of that too, yes, I guess it's iconic that I believe they invented a word oxymated. But I mean, come on, if we're gonna be inventing words for a song, you may as well just make the whole song in a made-up language like Belgium in 2003, I think it was. But perhaps the biggest fail of this performance was the dreaded smoke machine. There were camera angles for several seconds where you were just staring at fog and nothing happened. During those moments, it felt less like Eurovision and more just like you were watching the Weather Channel. This next fail enraged the Eurovision fandom probably more than any other fail on this list. And it's the mic mishap from Estonia in 2017. Wake up with a bottle in hand. To this day, this is probably in the top 10 most shocking non-qualifiers, and some people blame it on this technical malfunction, but I think they're just butthurt, because let's be real, a 1.5 second mic malfunction cutting out is just, it's not the reason why they didn't qualify. Perhaps, let's just consider, perhaps it was because of the very cringy camera pans to his facial expressions, which honestly feel like he's trying to undress me with his eyes, not in a good way. Ugh.
Ugh. Brother, ugh.
In 6th place, we have the second most iconic vocal fail in Eurovision history, Australia in 2017. Now, you'd think a 17-year-old boy's vocal fail at Eurovision would be like a vocal crack, but no, it was just awful vocal decisions that were made. Now, this happened during the second semi-final, but thanks to the juries, he still managed to qualify for the final. If you didn't know, juries base their votes on performances during the jury show held the night before the semi-final. So I guess clearly he nailed it there because the juries actually ranked him second in that semi-final. But I guess the televote heard that note and said, nah, we're putting you 15th, and yeah, they really made him suffer. And if you're from Spain and you're laughing at this vocal flop, you know what's coming, so don't get comfortable. 2 words, Manel Navarro. Spain's 1990 performance fail was so apparent that they actually had to start over again. Basically, the backing track, which was meant to cue the duo, was playing at an incorrect volume and was out of sync with the live orchestra, which created a lot of confusion. One of the singers was very noticeably frustrated. It looked like the 2 girls were arguing, and it was just very awkward all around. To make matters even worse, when the girls walked off, the band was left awkwardly standing on stage for what felt like an eternity. Honestly, all I want to know is how much do I have to pay to get the backstage mic feed of that soap opera moment, because it was probably very, very dramatic.
What the fuck? Like, I'm not going back out there. I'm not going back out there.
Come into my office here.
No, I'm not going back out there.
And yet, the sisters came back on stage and absolutely nailed it. They came in 5th with the song, and it also became one of the biggest commercial successes of the year. Now, this is where shit really hits the fan. Spain's 2010 performance is abysmal for many reasons, so let's start with the lesser of the obvious fails first. But that's not all. The next fail is at the fault of security, who let an audience member climb his way on stage. The guy acts as if he's one of the dancers, he plops down beside them, and he literally starts prancing around on stage for over 20 seconds. The stage invader is actually a notorious prankster named Jimmy Jump, who's known for disrupting high-profile events. He was actually arrested by Norwegian police and fined 2,000 euros, but a wealthy Norwegian businessman who was a fan of Jimmy's previous stunts ended up paying the fine on his behalf. That should be illegal. In 2018, an even worse stage invasion took place, which I remember watching it, and it genuinely shook me to my core.
Through the storm, storms.
Not sure what they're going to do now.
The intruder knocked Suri so badly she ended up confirming in later interviews that she was pretty badly bruised. And he shouted on about freedom and the UK media, but no one has really been able to fully decipher what he was trying to say. A few seconds later, Suri continued singing and her passion and conviction were palpable, and it was genuinely one of the most awe-inspiring displays of courage and resilience we've ever seen on the Eurovision stage.
Give all you got. Hold your head up. Don't give up. No, no. Hey, brother, don't give up.
Suri was offered the chance to actually perform again, but she declined because she was really proud of her performance, and holy hell, she should be. After the incident, some betting websites put her as high as 4th to win, despite the entry previously sitting around 26th, but she ultimately came in just 24th despite the whole ordeal. In 1991, Greece's performer finished her performance, went backstage, and allegedly murdered the saxophone player, and here's why. Safe to say that the epic sax guy was certainly not one of his students. There was so much rage in her soul that at the very end of that sax solo, she fucking tore the roof off of that place to try and recover the performance. I've mentioned this before, but on a serious note, legend has it that the sax player was actually a replacement because the original sax player was fired for demanding higher pay. If Sweden was hosting, of course, they would have just thrown money at that sax player, but Italy was the host this year, so the firing comes as no surprise. And finally, it is time. The moment has come. We must dissect the biggest Eurovision fail of all time from Spain in 2017.
Just do it for your lover. Do it for your lover.
So let's go through this. Firstly, the song is about doing it for your lover. The title is literally called Do It For Your Lover. I don't want to make assumptions, but if it's what I think it is, then the relentless persistence and repetition of those lyrics, which just read, do it for your lover, do it for your lover, do it for your lover, it's highly unsettling. Like, the lyrics sound like a desperate plea of an immature man-child who's just pressuring his partner to make it past second base. On top of that, we have the cringy, internationally recognized I'm a douchebag surfer hand sign.
Your lover, just do it.
He did end up actually talking about that crack later on. He said that it was because of the pressure that he felt because of Eurovision. He said he was disappointed, but is still proud with his overall performance, and honestly, he was in his early 20s, and the Eurovision stage is no joke, so you can't blame him. So yeah, that covers the top 10 biggest fails in my view. I'm very curious to know your thoughts on the biggest fails from your perspective, so drop what you think are some big fails that I missed in this list in the comments below. Also, as always, like the video, subscribe, turn on the notification bell because I promise you I'm going to be rolling out a lot more videos from now until May. So yeah, stay tuned, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.